Love me some nuke. More nuke. It's crazy. We casted like 4 maps in basically 4 maps and 2 maps. It was insane. Anyway, more rounds of overtime than we cast the regulation in those 2 maps as well. Another crazy stat. Yeah. Anyway, let's jump into this. Abiz going to get the opener. Adam S and Hawazu Peak strike right on back for 9Z to make it a man advantage. BK1's walking into the crosshair of Max, and Max is going to hit that every day of the week.
They are still going to be ramping down on the way through this. Adam is just going to be ramping right down. Max doesn't even need to get involved there as 9Z.
That's perfectly fine by him, I'm sure. But once the op is out, I think that's when we'll see Martinez a little bit more. Same for IVZ, of course, but he's going to have to settle for a Galil this time. Abiz going to get 1, not the second. Adam S with a very good trade after Martinez goes down, and that is exactly how the way they drew it up, because Martinez had the lower firepower available to him. And look at Max being cheeky. There it is. Timing freebie for him. And he even swings around to get IVZ mark.
Can he survive for a third just on the platter? He can just get traded out because you know what? The MP9 is literally up top T roof through 40 seconds this round. That's how crazy it's gotten. But Nacho's going to have to box out a couple of these plays. Too much to ask for.
Just red.
Just
looks like it's just red. Well. Hawazu Peak.
Get this peek out. Oh, no. Name's in the game, JRT, but maybe again a bit of a cleaner finish. You're up to 2. Doesn't get so lucky with the drop on the AWP. 9Z. I got IVZ with that AWP. A little bit of a crawl here by BK1, who's just going to see right exactly to that scope. Martinez just a bit blind there. And there could have been a tell about a flash coming over from the mini region. A bit cursive as to where the second player outside could have gone. 9Z, they realize that there has been a bit of a shakeup, giving up ramp here a little bit early. Max is still active, JRT, and they're progging them from either side into the thorn bush. They're even getting it from behind.
Indeed. Nacho.
Bruh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, well, you know, you said it. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it alone. I'll be nice. Nacho is the
It's only round 5.
last one standing. Roy and Abiz waiting right outside of A. It looks like they're just going to try to blitz through A with some utility ahead of it, and that's exactly what happens. Does it work is another question. Actually, turns out to be a vent drop with a couple of players going down, and maybe a third slips through. No. IVZ spotted out. Hawazu Peak gets that frag. So 2 players did get down. Probably heard, though.
Yeah, this one is lenting up to already be a frustrating start. I'm not sure IVZ could find the vent in that instance, man. Max is automatic at the moment. That's his 8th kill. Nacho and Roy, for a 2v4, have great positioning on this matter. 2 players in from the ramp. You get this double in from Secret right here. Nacho's going to have to go ahead and get them both. Roy almost goes 100% with his swings, but now you've really got to try and depreciate on these fights. Max does that in back the direction. He gets a 9th upon that, if I'm going to sing his praises. 9Z. BK1 has really been wanting to lead from the information that he can get outside, and Max is just reading this thing. The line about to come through, the smoke only with a couple more moments left to tick upon it. This kid feels something behind it. There's that back Molotov gonna drop, and Hasao has to just try and dance between this. That's actually a very clean entry. Look at how they led up onto the bomb site. That's the result that they were hoping for, and Nacho's gonna keep ripping away, and they may just clean this one up. Martinez, though, gonna let up to try and get away with at least the fear from the mini beak. And that was, it was very proper the way they sort of walk about this. It was a very healthy 9Z that they had to walk down, and it's just not going to be clean every time, just like that. They speed it up just a little bit further, and honestly, it's a very bloody pursuit right out. They come out on top of it, and it's Lucan that's barely holding on to make this a 3v3.
Lucan even spams that, to be honest with you. At 8 HP, you really have to be wary of spamming that smoke. But anyway, Adam S being smoked off, speaking of which, over in heaven, and I feel like they're going to just posture for a save. Even though it's a 3v3, just time is ticking away, the positioning isn't good. they're better off keeping the guns they've got and resetting for the next round. So, I mean, although it didn't start off as nicely for ShindeN on that attempted take, once more, they're able to battle against adversity here.
Is what takes a reset. I don't think they're going to be disappointed because they're all in the right place, right where they need to be. And Lucan is now going to be seeing into the A hit. A clean grab onto that first. And now this is where 9Z can take advantage. They can just try and split these engagements. And now they audible at the line. They are trying to split into the lower bomb site at the moment. And Lucan, he is just bobbing in like the lure, trying to see in behind this trophy crawl.
Well, ShindeN has been given that space at ramp once more. And in fact, all the way into the B site, no one is home for 9Z. Do have Max trying to retake the space, but it's going to be difficult for him. He's going to have to wait for the rest of his team to head down ramp before he activates, and now he's got some support himself. Bomb planted. There's the util, and then it should be chunk. Oh, no, it isn't. Not that much damage. Roy takes a little bit, most of it, I would say. But other than that, they're still pretty healthy. Going to have to win the duels. Max fading away a little bit. You have to imagine, you got to go for this if you're 9Z. Eventually, you got to make a move. Time is taken away on that bomb. There goes Huaso Peak. Nacho's got a great angle. 9Z just look way too hesitant here. Now, I don't even know if they can get the defusal, even if they find the frags. No, there's time. There's no time. They've run out of it. And it will be a third round in a row for ShindeN. Couple of players behind these smokes. One Lucan leaning into Mini, and the other one's Martinez with the AWP at Garage. Oh, Lucan. This is a pretty prime spot. Yep, they're not clearing it at all. Lucan manages to get one before Martinez is cleaned out, but it's probably enough. Maybe not. Actually, I say that as Roy is able to clean out Lucan, and Huaso Peak getting over-aggressive there, trying to retake the space. Maybe because he was hoping that would happen, as Max is right behind him, and they just maybe wouldn't have expected 3 players to be around that mini position. Anyway, 2v2, BK1 and Roy are low.
9Z trying to get ahead of the cut, even for ShindeN has seemingly made a decision. Max be heading all the way down. That is a long AK barrel that Adam actually did get a hand on, but he caught both onto the head of BK1, slaps him all the way out.
And Lucan, actually that smoke pop isn't that great coming through from 9Z, so they won't get the visibility that they're hoping for. Lucan backs off because of it, but still swings and finds BK1 as a late trailer on that entry into Secret. Obviously, it gives away the fact that some players may have slipped through to 9Z, so they're going to have to activate Max, who's waiting. Max, oh no! Right, oh yeah, that was so bad. Sorry, Max.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah,
that is unbelievable. JRT, he's trying to hop on his head still. The body hits the floor, and ShindeN is going to be head and hands after that. There is no doubt about it in my mind. Honestly, that's how you deal with something like that. How you gotta laugh it off, move on to that next round. It's only 7-3, by the way. 7-4.
8-3.
We'll call it all the way down. 8-4. I don't know. 8-3. Am I predicting this? Where are we going? They're still down within the picture. That's a little bit silly on the back end for it, but
it's recoverable. It's not impossible to get back from it, but it's going to be difficult against the 9Z squad that also is pretty strong on their T side of Nuke. All right, let's get into it. Bit of action here at ramp. You have Roy already down to 5 HP, but good heads-up play by Abiz, aware of the fact that Huaso Peak might be trying to push and force the issue.
Double players already down to the bottom of B, respectively, trying to get organized before ShindeN are going to end up taking that next step, which feels like it could have been a couple of moments ago. You already have Adam just gonna be prompted all the way back behind camera. Molotov's out, set to fight. He may just try and rip 2 with the A4. Yeah, this double doors was left open for a reason. Max is trying to get all the way through. Left enough time for Lucan to just ruin the bomb plant. There's no chance at even taking the round just like this. Hold on, it's actually this 2v2. They crack-locked this down. It's that one trade that came through on the ramp that evened this up. Popped out of the vent, JRT. It's actually ShindeN that can just pull this back into their court, need to hit the headshot. If there's anybody who can do it, it is Max. He lands the spray. It's going to be that flash right through. BK1 backed up with this thing. The IGLs are going to be able to decide this last round here in the first half. Eventually, is it not poetic just like that? Max wins the 1v1 JRT and puts the cap on a dominant 9-3. The universe has given this to you. I promise. Quick first map on Nuke. You deserve it, JRT.
Don't say that. It's not done. Why are you doing
boy. That's what I'm here. I'm here to stir the pot. But hold on. That's what we could be serving it up because it's damn hot out of the biz who may just go and put a line on a 4K. Max, we just saw how he waxed the last round of the first half. It's a 1v4 that he served up with, JRT. I think ShindeN may be getting a good kick into the second half, looking into the beginning of it. Awfully bright back through trophy room. Hopefully that shine is not just off it. It's Nacho that puts... So they've seriously got a little bit of something behind where you've gotten a little bit of that confidence on this nuke. However, it's really going to be hard when you can't set it into the paint. Nacho's going to try and reach up, but these Glocks are going to absolutely hammer down. It's one little gimme you're going to be getting from Secret. Maybe a little bit of a re-peek action. Yeah, not today. Biz is still going crazy with the A4, but they've taken a couple of bodies. This is really concerning.
I mean, just getting a plant would be great. Unfortunately, I feel like that window's closed now. Because look where Roy is. Easy frag. Yeah, no way Lucan expects that. That'll do it. So ShindeN, despite losing 3 bodies...
Kind of serve it up expensively as well. Because they are going to be reaching so farly for this. They did not get eyes on Nacho. Back outside to Red, though he is going to be hot within the crosshairs. Actually does clean the fadeaway kill onto Hassau, actually close within this spamming Max.
For a potential 6th round, but it's still not over. Problem for 9Z is that their util's running quite low. They want to use these smokes here. They won't have anything left for post-plant. But the problem is this, if you don't use the smokes. Nacho is able to actually only get 1. Adam S.
Huge trade.
Yeah, I mean, but Adam S. has given up the route, the plan here for 9Z. They know that they're going to go towards the B side, so ShindeN's already rotating A-Biz down here, staring down towards Decon. Doors opened. They're going to use whatever util they've got left to try and gain this space. That smoke proves to be valuable, and Lucan wins the fight at observation. Then IVZ gets caught looking the wrong way. Well coordinated by 9Z. 3v2, still not done.
And you reconsider the back end approach, it all went so quickly for ShindeN that they're going to hold on to what they can. JRT, we spoke about how even the thinnest margin of error taken advantage of by 9Z would, you know, really look into the cracks that BK1's in door.
Yeah. Look, I mean, if they can get around here, it'd be fantastic. BK1 does find one onto Lucan, but Max, the immediate trade. Abe is still lurking around lobby, but he gets caught as well. It's another trade. BK1 will give his team the edge 2v1. This is a dream scenario for ShindeN off this force buy. They must get this frag if they want to have a chance of competing or continuing to compete here on Nuke, and they will. BK1 delivers the IGL with a 3K, and ShindeN are still in this.
A change of pace can, I mean, lead to changing in fortunes with the T side. That comes straight out of their playbook. They remain patient for it. It was a really tough fight that Roy just had to take on that mini crawl, but he's going to have to likely get active as a rotate because you're going to be stomping all the way down, and Abiz is just going to have to get in position. They normally say that ramp is going to favor the rotating angle every time. Nacho ignores what's happening on the bomb side. He's holding things down on the other side. Martinez with the spam. All of a sudden, 2 guns recovered, and the bomb down for 9Z.
Roy's not going to be expected at all. Yeah, Max blindsided by that MP9, so Roy gets the AK in his hands. But it's still, it's a 3v3 post-plant. This is going to be a big engagement into observation. And look at the movement. 9Z head the heck out of dodge, so they don't give ShindeN that quick opportunity to respond. That burns more time up the clock. You have the bomb, and it's the pistol that gets 1. Martinez the second. He's doing so much damage here with 3K, and the op has to retreat. Oh, what a coup from 9Z. This wasn't even the full investment. It's just the pistols bought up with the hero AK. But Martinez does what he has to with the rifle. 11-6 for 9Z. A serviceable buy-up. Still has to be a FAMAS and MP9, but both those guns can be used effectively. Deploy them properly. Look at this. 9Z are thinking about going for that blitz, and Molotov actually takes down Adam S from BK1. Then Roy catch Suazopi going out by himself out of hut. Martinez will get a response finally. It feels like 9Z wants to keep fighting here and get a second one to even out the numbers, but eventually Martinez is going to have to back off thanks to that smoke as he goes for a bit of a desperate spam, but doesn't connect on anything in the process. Oh, but Martinez, what a peek around from Squeaky. I think he even saw the player go second vent.
He does. He has just got a feeling about this. Trying to flame out of this door. Can at least just try and set for a moment because ShindeN now feel that they're on the hot seat. 2 kills just drug right back. Seems like Nacho may be setting into a very nice timing about this. He is rug pulled simply in the flick back over all of a sudden and a 3v5. It is 9Z that survive and it's all on a biz in a 1v3 to keep ShindeN's map pick possible.
Yeah, and Max is having a map for himself. 24-9. A-Biz will get one. Okay, it's not over yet. 1v2. Can he get the second one? Bit of a whiff from Martinez. Bomb still ticking away. This has to make the move. A-Biz. Util out. Throws the incendiary to make life difficult for Lucan, who's going right on through it, but Lucan catches A-Biz looking the wrong way, who didn't expect Lucan to make that move. And that'll do it. 13th round found for 9Z, and now I can talk about Max. 24 frags here. Looking at his stats on Nuke over the last over the last 4 times he's played here in the last 3 months, it's not been that great. It's not this type of performance. He's got a KDR of 0.92. You know, like you said, a big loss, but at the same time, they were struggling, and they needed a change. And maybe DGT recognizing that said, I have to be the one who steps back. I have to be the one who is going to spur that change. Anyway, let's see. Oh, and that's a nice shot from Nacho here. Let's see if 9Z can keep it together here on Ancient and close this one out, or if ShindeN can finally make some noise. Nacho, immediately traded. Max gonna drop IVZ, and BK1 does manage to connect for a response, but the space that's been given up is quite tough. I mean, 9Z could literally go in either direction. Oh, but BK1 sharp on the trigger.
It's crazy. Literally just wicks that right off. It's kind of a signature play, and it's just, just so clean. That's a great headshot that comes through. Now Lucan in the back lines, getting active and literally clipped. It is clean from every edge.
It's nice because it's actually justifiable to put it in your inventory and buy it.
I used to use it before too, man. I don't know what that's all about. That'd be 9 men taking that direction. But here again, the FAMASas are going to have to stand up so tall to it. And it looks like they are. 3 kills just like that, JRT. But the rotations are right on time.
Yeah, I mean, Roy and Nacho in perfect position to counter. And there it is. Lucan and Martinez are gone. Yeah, FAMAS.
In that 3rd round of Nuke, when they literally sprinted, I believe it was Max outside all the way to red. They took huge fights and they stood up tall. Now can actually try and reorganize with a couple of these pistols. Nacho, not as successfully as he been consistently, goes down with only 1 here, drops the AK, and 9Z have to at least be forced to pause in middle.
Lucan, okay, Lucan the frag onto BK1. This is getting scary now for ShindeN. We saw it happen on Nuke as well, where the pistols were effective. Roy immolates himself to sacrifice for the cause. Even he gets a frag out of it as well, so it's a 3v2. Max is through the smoke, will take care of IVZ, and A-Biz, the last one standing. This was not that much of an investment from 9Z, like we already talked about. We got some armor, some pistols. That's it. And it turns into this. Again, there's echoes of Nuke here. Look, A-Biz still has a chance to clutch us out. We'll see. 1v3 down to a 1v2.
It's just ticking down with the half, with the pass through, and Aso is going to have that down even through.
As you see those odds, despite the deficit here in the scoreline, 9Z are still heavily favored, as I can honestly agree with. But we'll see if ShindeN can prove both the odds and myself wrong.
BK1 was a player that had so much responsibility on Nuke, but would just simply outperformed by Max on the other side every time. Those many responsibilities are so important to that. Here, just more important responsibility into Cave. A very, very striking kill all the way down. But even setting in 1, you've actually let in for a little bit of a rotation down. And 9Z hasn't begun to really slip the net so far. They need to wait in for another bit of hit here. May just be on incorrect timing, but Martinez has a huge op kill.
That's massive. I mean, you have the 3v2. ShindeN actually looking pretty good, rebuffing 9Z's take of that B site. But now, with that op frag found, space is opened up, and ShindeN is trying to close the gap, but they're setting themselves up for isolated fights, meaning no trade's going to come through. Abe is going to have to do it all by himself. Mess around the corner with the op, loses it, and Avis does do it by himself. 2 headshots delivered. 9Z felt like there was enough to justify a forest buy, so they go for it. 2 MAC-10s, a couple AKs, and the tech. Will also peek with that Tech 9. Let's charge out first to his death. But he's hoping the trade can come through, and it does. Max and Adam S get a couple. BK1, 2 of his own. So we'll be down to this to deal the man advantage, and it's Martinez to find it. IBZ delivers it right on back, though, with the trade. So we're stuck down at a 2v2 with Martinez planting the bomb, and IBZ stepping into the Molotov. Taking a little more damage, maybe just trying to attract attention that direction as he rotated back around to short B.
Right now, it feels like he's got Martinez occupied, and that might just be better for the Abiz Peak, who hasn't even begun to speak. He's still just walking up quietly to the site. Smoke right in front of Cave, and a great flick in by IVZ, putting down the big bodies. 9Z, though, they're actually bringing this one down. It's the entire belt that's going to be led up by Max with the smoke to play in front of, and Roy is going to take full advantage of this, break open this nade, and it's actually not going to lend into. He lines up both. So Roy and Nacho, they have just bit the dust, and so has BK1. So now this hit from 9Z is going to be successful. Bomb is going to be meeting the turf, but boy, have they paid the price, at least on Max margins, down to 20 health.
Not over yet. Abiz going to look through here into Cave. He spots out Max. Doesn't know Lucan's in the corner, but you kind of have to have an inkling or a second sense that if a player's going in that corner, you'll probably expect 2 to be there. As he's trying to drag you out. Abiz does get Max, but he's lost his teammate prior to that. And Lucan does find the trade eventually. Abiz just tempted to come back in, and that'll do it. 9Z are back on the board. And one thing I want to highlight about the 6 rounds that ShindeN did win, yet another breaking point, because they've had their hot runs. They had a hot run on Nuke even. They had 3 rounds in a row, and then once they got shut down, there wasn't really much else to speak of. And right here, you're seeing that 6 round run, which was insane, but they're slipping. IVZ going to get an immediate trade after Adam runs down Abiz, and BK1 will actually burn Martinez to an itty-bitty crisp. He cannot survive that incendiary, so we do have a 4v3. BK1, he's got the beat on Max, and he will get the frag as well. 4v2.
Well, that smoke opened right for him. How dare you? Doesn't go nearly far enough. 9Z could have really actually set in a very good lie. I don't know if they're going to be able to fully push over this domino now. Round 10 has been really not even one to at least open this up for. Hassel going to see this player back? Actually, should be spotted himself. It's a favorable fight for Roy. Lucan in a 1 versus 4. Likely tracked to the same fate. 7 rounds through 10 are going to fall the way of ShindeN.
Is a standout to me personally as the IGL, especially on Nuke. He had some key plays, and here he's also doing a fantastic job leading both by example and with the calls.
Oh, he's right behind both of these players, too. Literally, we'll just sit the net and see Max first. This is going to be a little bit comical, wondering how it's going to play out. That's exactly how it should.
Oh, man.
Adams is so far into the bomb site. That's something that came out of my eye watching the minimap. He is going to be a surprise, not just to me, but the rest of ShindeN. They may not even go for this if BK1 doesn't have the successes. And not even going to have a chance.
Yeah, Adam just wiped him out. And right there, you're just seeing 9Z slip through the net as there was some aggression that came through simultaneously from ShindeN. And I mean, yes, you get 1, you get the bomb carrier, but there's no way you expect 2 players behind you. And he's immediately traded and the bomb is recovered. After that, Adam just does some great work to go into into Donut, as you guys just saw. And it's down to Nacho and Roy. Roy's managed to slip past, but you got a pretty lethal crossfire set up here between Haza Peak. And, okay, Nacho and Roy managed to get a couple anyway. Both players dropped that I thought had a good crossfire, and it's all down to Lucan here. Roy, the headshot onto Martinez. Bomb still not planted. They're going to pull this one back. There's no way. Yes, they have. ShindeN in ESEA Open SA. Anyway, let's get back to this. as they want to advance in CCT as well. We'll start
It's
here.
just going to be...
Yeah.
Oh, no. Again, he might be more aware of the back end this time. Different face, but
It's crazy.
body's let in the same place.
And they really make the map a lot smaller.
Oh, but Adam, another Nacho, welcoming arms. Hugged by Luke, though. Gonna be all the way down. But Roy, again with the timely smoke. Not sure he's gonna be able to line up a couple of bodies behind it this time, but he'll be cool to climb just from where he sets. And Roy has the help. And this is great for BK1 to back this thing up all the way for ShindeN. A 9-3 half, and they are blazing on their map pick.
9Z. Only one player on the B site. Two sent themselves down mid, and there is some reinforcements coming in the form of Max. He'll have to help his teammate out quickly, and Max only gets one. Lucan dropped immediately. Hwasu Peak putting the pressure on from the other side, and Max does connect for a third on the round, leaving only BK1 and Abiz to try and get this bomb planted.
Now that's a turnaround that you can see, but there are other efforts. BK1 and Abiz, they are going to be just trying to track into the way. Maybe Abiz for...
They're trying to fake the rotate. It worked.
But they didn't get that little bit of a cut. They wanted a gunfight right through cave there. Abiz was strong enough to take it, but the rotation has worked. They've only... We're having to deal with these two bodies here, but it's the one tap all the way through. Struck the heart of BK1. Now Abiz is going to have to go huge in a 1v4. Just track around that backside, but Max is just automatic with the USP.
That no one's able to slip through, and that one is honestly the difference maker. The reinforcements had kind of already arrived because the ruse was kind of up. They went for that quick rotate, and it looks like 9Z are going to get off to a good start into this round. It is a force buy coming through from ShindeN, despite the fact that they did not get the bomb plant. And okay, Roy and BK1 making some noise again, and Roy! Oh my goodness, the clutch master is trying to do it again, and he gets the headshot here. Can he do it all? No! Oh, Roy shut down right at the end, prevented from the quad.
Smoke right down onto CT, at least tipping their hat through a main. It seems to be a full commitment and more than just the tip. Right now, it's going to be Adam that is going to be ripping the hat off of BK1 at least. 9Z, they are going to be now feeling just a little bit of a crawl here, but Roy not ready for that second player. That could have been the game-changing play.
Roy's playing like his feet are on fire, though. I mean, he was so close to getting a second there.
Another one, another crawl they're getting through. There's no way.
Yeah, they are going to slip through onto this site. Adam probably won't expect this. He's got too many angles to watch. Yeah, he's gone. Adam's going to be eliminated from the round 3v3, but that is the information gain that they're on this A site, and 9Z are very much poised to go for this retake. Martinez already moving in.
Whoa.
Nacho catches Max around mid before Max even stepped foot into Donut. Lucan, along with Martinez, can't do anything either. IVZ gets the round victory for ShindeN, and they are up to double digits.
The only money that they have still online, JRT, is enough to get desperate pistols online. Honestly, with smokes like this can create really unbalanced situations to take advantage of. He's going to be right behind BK1 now. That's one gun given over.
He won't even get it. Lucan just leaves the gun on the ground, surprisingly. Just expecting a response to be there, I suppose, but maybe just faith in the pistols at this point. Gonna have to be the pistols that shine, even though Adam does have that M4.
Just got eyes onto him.
Oh!
No way, Martinez. No way you're gonna be channeling it right now. You can tote this thing even further. There's 4 players here. It's now or nothing for 9Z. Now or nothing for Nacho. Got 2 right out of the cave. And this thing keeps sifting down. That smoke has still got a couple seconds left on it to respect. You do have to worry about IVZ Bees, who just got their hands so dirty in round 16.
This is tense. Abiz is holding his nerve for now. 30 seconds left. What a shot from IVZ, taking out Max. Now it's all down to Lucan in a 1v2. 23 seconds left. Time not favoring ShindeN, but Abiz will take care of business. Headshot onto Lucan. They're on to 11. But that being said, look, we have to talk about Anubis because it is very much a possibility here. Maybe we'll wait until this engagement as BK1 will get run down. So will Nacho. That's 2 frags and 2 guns dropped. Roy has to be big, but he's been absolutely huge throughout the majority of Ancient. Hits the headshot, then the follow-up. It is all settled down. Huaso Peak will get 1. Makes it a 1v2. So perhaps there's still the possibility of him upsetting the apple cart here. He's got 2 1v1s. Could happen. Maybe.
Chilean likes it spicy. If he could win a clutch like this, honestly, he'd be turning up the heat right now so far, but can't respect that.
Definitely no slouch on Anubis, 16-19 there, and against Pain Academy, 19-22. Again, you know, only one of those wins against Uno Melee. But still, I think that it's going to be difficult for 9Z if they can't find a win here. So that means overtime for them in 6 in a row, as they do get the opening mark.
He's got it through very difficult constraints as well. Martinez likely going to have to hit another tough shot. But right now, Hassel Peak, that is where we go and put our focus upon. He's going to get that down. That's a very nice move if he can actually fit back in the way. BK1 absolutely decked, clotheslined out of it. But this is where you buy time, but you're buying all of the chances right through this scope. It's all the way down. A 2v1 here for Lucan, who's made it into a 1v1. IVZ, can he put the cap on a triple? Has to just duck out of the scope. This becomes bloody, but it becomes guaranteed. Rides on your seat all the way to 3rd, and it's ShindeN that just burned right up in the same damn way. 13-6 out of that second map, and JRT, we're getting the full flood of it in our 3rd round of 16 game today.
Absolutely inspired performance here from ShindeN.
I was going to mention that's old news. We've been playing Cash 10-mans up in here now.
Oh yeah, Cash, right. But apparently not going to be added.
Yeah, up to some, Counter-Strike politics whenever we can get that in. Always an entertaining discussion, but if that's exactly what you open up here, and boy, they did not like what Abiz had to say. He's ripped down to red HP right next to Nacho, and if you know anything about these Glocks, well, they're going to swing exactly on opportunities like that. Sublet to 1 kill an A, but then they're dished out to at least maybe be checking upon this IVZ with dualies that may just be let to honestly be a tool used for the destruction of ShindeN in the future. Hassel even in the lurk. Are they going to hit him anywhere where it doesn't hurt JRT?
Well, it doesn't feel like it, yeah. Roy and Nacho, last 2 standing, both on islands apart from each other, so it's up to individual efforts here. Roy overlooked a little bit. There's one. Could get Max as well. He could get this defusal, perhaps. No one's really close. I don't think he knows it. If he knew, maybe he would have stuck that, but perhaps without the kit, it wouldn't have been possible. Who knows? Because, I mean, Adam didn't even try to go into the site. Roy will eventually get dropped. That was a decent effort, and once more, he's at least creating some noise in a round that otherwise didn't feature too much. If you get the momentum in that first half, the other team can come through and that team that has the lead will come through and take it to the finish line. But it's Anubis, and I think you highlight that. It could easily go back and forth. Uh-oh, what's happening here? This is just an eco! Oh my goodness, ShindeN, 3v3. They've got guns on the ground, no armor. Here come the nades, and wow, Lucan is trying to settle things down. There's still 3 more targets to deal with. The utility has softened them up, but that got very scary. I mean, it's
smoked onto the street. You got to plug that hole immediately, especially with Hassel so low. Lucan, you just got to lock in. I mean, Max on a Mac 10, he'll be happy to pull off something maybe a little bit unexpected in order to pull that across. Maybe just happy to land the spam, knew that there was just one atop there, took out the basis, and right now the entire structure is going to fail right on top of them. It's 9Z that...
And that makes it a costly one going into what will be ShindeN's first buy-up. IVZ's got the AWP, BK1, Roy waiting here on the B side, and they both get dropped. There is a trade in the mix, but now with a second frag in favor of 9Z, that's the 2-man advantage that they were hoping for.
And this is kind of a bit of your classic Anubis round 3 entries that are just so clean onto the B-bomb site, and ShindeN are literally just going to pack it away without a second consideration quite at all. 9Z even have 2 players up top of the shelf waiting by the carpets. ShindeN maybe have no choice but to actually get out here and just spar right out. That's one toss that's thrown, but now they see that it is just uneven weight on the mats. You got to bounce back. That's going to be dangerous for you, but the 5-7, it's got to stand up. It's got to take advantage of the position that it is just so waiting to put the cuffs on. Right now, it's going to be a double murder through that A main position, but I don't think we're done handing these out at the moment. Got to get through. It's another 5-7 frag. That's out of BK1. The chaos ensues, but you got to get this one back up. Max, he's got to respond, but right back on. It's 5-0 that gets in for their first round. What lies behind Hungry Roy? Maybe one of the awaiting targets. That scope has been patient, and it has delivered this line. IBC to meet him for it. It just takes a little bit of a grant into a big peak. These are punishments dealt by ShindeN one after the next.
I love it. I love just the timely aggression that's coming through, and they're not stepping too far forward. Just a little bit into A main there, winning a fight, and then as well on the other side, taking a fight aggressively. As Abiz will get a couple onto Adam S and Max. Wasso Peak, last one standing, and he is gone too. Nacho, the headshot, the clean sweep for ShindeN.
A little bit less of the momentum, try and, you know, get that back where you have a little bit less rounds to deal with now upon this T side. It's maybe a little bit easier to get a bit of a crawl into a big play like this. Lucan, he felt the pressure, so he pulled his own trigger, said, flash me in, I've got this kill.
Max, the nades in his direction. He'll throw a smoke in response. He really wants to try and attract as much attention as possible in his direction, but that smoke isn't great. There's a huge gap, and Max will pay the price because of it. Now, looking the other direction, Nacho watches BK1 get taken care of, but he does manage to deliver an instant trade and evens out the numbers at a 3v3. 9Z at risk, though, because they've got Lucan, who's very low.
Nacho stomping in. Just very wary of what could be slipping in the back lines, but a larger concern as Martinez needs to come back and plant the bomb. Caught on the engagement. That's Roy that gets this back down. Adam, knowing that he's got to capitalize. Thankfully, that player is right on time. He is just on par to get this kill through the street, but it's going to be audible up the lane, and Roy is going to need an even larger play, but it's Adam with all 3 onto it. Responds to the call.
Will be taking one teammate with him. No, he's actually going to group up towards mid. Martinez.
Oh, gosh.
The op, there's this. I think that was supposed to be a smoke op. Yes, it was, and Martinez will get the opener. Nacho the trade. He continues spamming, but he takes so much damage to that engagement, barely surviving as he fades away.
Gonna put a little bit more support to the pack lines of this B side, but honestly, a fair trade. You get that faded down. Need to get a little bit more engagement on the way through. Flash into B, you're trying to pick on. Could be this lesser side into investment, knowing that there's got to be one player around. You got to search, but you don't have to look too far. You find Adam, the hero of the round previous, and now it's 9Z. Fryer with these middle positions finally take advantage.
And 9Z have a really good pincer attack going here towards the A site, but they have to execute quickly, otherwise their flank's going to be exposed. And I mean, Biz isn't really even challenging, and now he won't be able to. That Molotov spreads right in his direction, so a bomb plant secured at the very least. Now Max has a very favorable position. That CT angle. Martinez hits the shot to Nacho. Max hits one before he falls, and it's all down to BK1, who loses the fight against Martinez. 3-piece for him on the round, and 9Z managed to pull it together for a 5th. More members grouping up right outside of Canals. Going to Plat? Maybe, yeah, a couple going to Plat. Roy's here to punish. Yep, pushed up aggressively. Didn't expect it. He only gets one, though, before they realize need to fade off a little bit. Martinez with the shot, connecting with a response. Then Lucan takes care of Roy. That's the risk when you push up like that if you're Roy, right? You get one, but if you can't fade off after it, you're stuck.
Spurring the E-box pop, but Molotov correctly timed. just fades right behind. BK1, he's going to be tracked down before it. Abiz is going to have to get just more than the first. And Luke, and he's still 1 HP. So actually a real argument for it. All left alone is the low HP Lucan, who doesn't have time to fade.
What on earth? So if there was a time for them to pull it together, it's right here for sure. Nacho getting pretty aggressive. Oh, he's spotted. I don't even know if it makes sense for him to push through, but what is Hazopeak doing? He had to have gotten the information from his teammates, and Nacho gets a second off of it. There's just no way. It feels weird because I know the player from 9Z spotted Nacho pushing down the bridge, right? You got the information. I think Hazopeak was trying to adjust off of that, but keep your gun out. He could be pushing out at any moment. IVZ gonna get the headshot onto Luke, and it felt so good for 9Z, and yes, it's not done yet, but they're gonna have to recover from a 5v2. The first is on the board. Max throws the nade onto the site. He's got Martinez by his side. In fact, this isn't the worst situation for them, given the fact that it's a 4v2. If they can find a clean win up against Abiz, and then maybe a trade afterwards, and they don't get that clean win at all. Abiz taking 0 damage, and then finds the last onto Martinez. ShindeN do get the 5 that I think they need to be competitive and potentially win here on map number 3.
Honestly, where the hopes of the Argentinian fans are the best yet to have been seen by the ShindeN side yet. We're going to see right into this B side, and they are quite literally already clicking. That's an entry to open this B side.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's not the half that 9Z was hoping for. Let's be clear. Yes, you have a lead going into the second half, but they need a lot here, and Max trying to tap heads through the smoke does manage to connect onto Nacho. Looking for another one. Bomb gets planted, so already good news here for ShindeN. Martinez barreling down with the with the dualies, I should say, and he does find one onto Roy. That'll clear out a lot of space and afford his team the possibility of coming in and striking Luke, and will do exactly that. Trying to isolate this last fight, and he wins it. 9Z have gotten the site back. Should get the defusal. Abiz does manage to get one before he falls immediately. Martinez great with the dualies. So is Lucan. So I mean, yeah, I think they still have a decent chance of actually getting into this round, and especially now with Martinez eventually caught with utility in his hands. Yeah, he throws the nade down, but he can't get away. IVZ finds the frag. He's got all his teammates behind him, picks up the M4, and it's happening. Yep, ShindeN just on the lighter buy. They made the right call, kept their economy healthy. Now they have site control with 9Z really nowhere close to getting back into this A site.
Nacho's running away. He just put Hasout's peak down to 9, and then that's the win. That's going to be ShindeN. They actually undercut it. It didn't even need the Galils. That's the track we're currently going on, even hunting down Adam S.
Free guns.
I don't think anybody's going to stick around to tell this tale. Honestly, likely hold on to the A1S, and instead they're going to be right on their tails, JRT.
Oh no. Yeah. This is not great. They are climbing up that mountain. That seemed like such a steep climb at first when they started this BO3, but now they can see the top.
Here's an opening fight that's brought all the way back. 2 maps later from the opening that Max put up, the highest rated player from Nuke, right? I mean, he's just sublet to maybe a lackluster performance, and now his team is going to be down a member and maybe not feeling it. There's 2 kills right back to back. The FAMASes are striking just as successfully as they were on Ancient. A picked up AK, and it's got to get ready to go. Dance around this pillar. He's even got the backup in time.
God,
but look
Roy.
at that. It's a headshot put on by Roy. In the 1v1 he's got right against that scope, JRT. Still smoked out.
He's got the bomb too, and he's saying, you know what, I'm getting the heck out of here. Gonna go plant on the A site, or maybe he's just trying to throw Martinez for a loop. Goes into mid. He's making a lot of noise. Martinez is gonna hear this. Roy seems to have the right idea as to where Martinez will be coming from, but he's more concerned about getting this bomb planted, which he will do in time, plenty of time. Roy, he's been the clutch master throughout the entirety of this series, and he's got the right read again. Oh no, he gets spotted! Oh my goodness, he does the double take, but Martinez is the one to hit the shot. You have that buy up coming through for 9Z. As mentioned, those 2 pieces that were saved through were important. And now, see, the odds have shifted for, I think, the first time.
Certainly. Ooh, that is a very big crawl, but Hasso is actually gone in that a little bit more usual for them to be heavier on that B side. They were. Martinez, though, taking more of the passive play. He has that incendiary down, JRT, and you do have that prod right from behind. So with 1 minute to go, it's even 9Z that feel they aren't even comfortable to fight, but that's where Martinez, he can stand up like he's done in multiple positions. You've got to fight this through. It's game ender where you get this next swing, and it's so bloody. It's Adam that's all alone, and Abiz, he goes back, and he's still bottled up. 9Z, they bring us to a tied game, even if you go all the way down for it.
But they want more than just a healthy economy. They want a win here. They want that upset victory. Martinez, a big miss. He needs support from his riflers, and, well, it doesn't come through. He managed to recover for one, but ShindeN have closed the gap. They're already swarming on the site. Martinez was eliminated. There goes Huaso Peak as well, and it will be a 4v3 in favor of ShindeN as that smoke blooms around CT. Nades and I think an incendiary, maybe both nades actually fly in from 9Z. It doesn't do any damage at all, really. And now 9Z are on the outside looking in.
How long has it been since we've had this proper retake? Lucan to actually set this through, gets a great headshot onto Abiz, and you can just try and speed it up. Gets this back. If it all comes through the scope, then it's necessary, but BK1 has to get involved more than the big brain. Adam having to chase him down just came off of a 1v3, but he's got fresh legs. That's what that means, and he can stand tall for ShindeN late into this match when it matters the most.
Figuratively and literally here. As Roy is crouching down mid. Martinez scoped him with the op. He's hit the shot, and he does. A big hit for him, but he loses a teammate in the process, and back and forth we go. At the end of it, a 3v2 edge. Martinez under pressure, and Martinez delivering exactly when he's needed. Martinez up against Roy here on this A site. Bomb will be planted. Pressure's on. Roy's been so good at clutching. He's been so good at clutching, and he's going to get a 1 on the 1v3. Not the second, though. Oh, my goodness. ShindeN fall short here in this one, and 9Z hang on. Lucan, immediately punished. He tried to go through that smoke, but the minute he was spotted coming out of it, BK1 hits the headshot.
As long as you're on the same page, a coordinated hit here by ShindeN could be all that they need.
I mean, you know you've taken out Lucan, who's the other player on the B side.
Misses.
Yeah, and it's just the opera, so if they flash him out effectively, they can overload him. He might get one, but that could be maximum. And then they catch Max trying to rotate over to support. Martinez, he's standing on his head once more, but he can only get one. IVZ is going to frag him out. 4v2 ShindeN on the precipice of an upset victory with only Adam and Huaso Peak to take down, Mark.
And this is just laying the red carpet up for ShindeN to walk with that blue Argentinian flag draped on their backs. A big win in the round of 16 here as BK won the leader to just put them up for it. Getting it down, it's 13 rounds. It's ShindeN that puts that over 9Z's head. It takes all 24. It takes all 3 maps, but they are your first quarter finalists. And you know what? Dusty Roots and Red Candids, I don't know what they're thinking right now.